Continuing now with our lead story, the changing political winds in Washington based upon the election of Scott Brown to the Senate by Massachusetts voters. Joining us now from Los Angeles, Fox News analyst Joe Trippi, who ran Howard Dean's presidential campaign in 2004. I want you to react to President Obama today, reacting to what happened last night. Bullet.
Here's my assessment of not just the vote in Massachusetts, but the mood around the country. You know, the same thing that swept Scott Brown into office swept me into office. People are angry and they're frustrated. Not just because of what's happened in the last year or 2 years, but what's happened over the last 8 years.
All right. So it goes back to Bush and all of that. What do you think?
Well, I think he's right, and hopefully, this will wake up the administration to this. He's right that the inertia, the anger, and the need for change is what swept him in, and it is what swept Brown in. People are angry at Washington. They're angry at the insurance companies and the banks getting away with bills that work for them but aren't working for the American people. And Scott Brown tapped into that, while a complacent Democratic Party that's doing these deals in Washington, like the deal, the Nebraska, $100 million to the state for Nelson's vote. It's that kind of deal making. People are against this stuff, and it's spreading across both parties.
Then why would President
right
Obama, who campaigned on change you can believe in and reform and open government, why would he allow it? I mean, isn't it crazy to allow the SEIU, that uber-liberal union, to get a big tax break and the other unions not, and to buy off Louisiana with $300 million, as you pointed out rightly, Nebraska? Obama just stood by and let it happen. Isn't that insane?
Because the problem here is it became about getting 60 votes. So what deal do we have to do with this senator to get to 60? The big thing that happened last night is they can't get to 60 anymore.
Right. Let me stop you. Let me just run through some stuff real quick. Okay. Now, do you agree with Morris and I that President Obama has lost a lot of power?
I think that Washington's losing power, and this is the point I would make, Bill. Everybody in Washington, the Republicans and the Democrats, are losing power. They're losing it to the people who are angry about the way Washington works.
Right, so it's not just
and
Obama.
It would be a mistake.
It's both parties. Okay.
Right, and it would be a mistake for Republicans to see last night's victory as an ideological left-right.
I agree.
It's not.
It was an
independent
independent surge.
Power, like you're saying.
It was an independent surge, and they want clean government. Okay. I don't think the health care. I don't think Obamacare.
The insiders out.
Yeah, I don't think Obamacare is going to pass. Do you agree with that?
I think if they try to ram this bill through with shenanigans, doing something before Brown's seated, that kind of stuff.
Obama said they weren't going to do that tonight, but I just don't think
they're not going to do that.
I don't think it has enough Jews. 65% of Americans oppose it. I think that's overwhelming. It's not going to get through. So now, where does President Obama go? He's been embarrassed by 3 elections: Virginia, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. And no matter how the Obama administration tries to spin it, it is a repudiation of the president. So after 1 year, he's facing 3 years left in his office. He's facing a revolt among the voters. A revolt. When Massachusetts goes the way it did, you can use that word. So what does he do? Say you're advising him now. Say he hires you tomorrow. What do you tell him to do?
I think they've got to pivot to the economy, to jobs, to getting where people are.
What does that mean, pivot? Does he cut taxes to stimulate job growth? That's what stimulates job growth, cutting taxes. Corporate taxes?
No, I think they've got to take on the banks, take on the insurance companies, not play the Washington game. They've got to be transparent. You've got to become what Obama was when he ran, which was somebody who was going to change politics, a new kind of politics.
But he's lost all that credibility. He's got to come up with specific things.
He can get that back. He can get that back. This man has enormous ability to communicate.
He can't get it back.
To tap into the American people.
He can't get it back through liberal policies. Liberal policies now are done.
No, you can't get it back. You can't get it back by playing Washington games, by cutting deals with senators to get, whether they're Republican or Democrat, whether they're conservative or liberal senators. You can't cut deals to get there and be a new kind of politics. And I think that's been the problem of the administration.
No, I agree with you, but he better come up with something specific, all right, because the general stuff, the BS, is walking right now. Mr. Trippi, nice to have you on the program. Thanks very much.